Ahead tonight, Caribbean labor ministers meeting here in the Bahamas this week. And coming up in sports, the best women basketball players showing their true talent last night. The Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition, starts now.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. Thanks so much for tuning in. Topping the news tonight, just under a week after hosting the leaders of the region at the 26th Intersessional Meeting of CARICOM, government officials are making final preparations to host the 9th International Labor Organization meeting of the Caribbean Ministers of Labor at the British Colonial Hilton Hotel this Tuesday, March 3rd and Wednesday, March 4th. Flags of the nations being represented at the conference are already mounted outside of the hotel. The high-level meeting will assemble ministers with responsibility for labor, permanent secretaries, and high-level officials of the English and Dutch-speaking Caribbean, as well as representatives of the Caribbean Congress of Labor and the Caribbean Employers Confederation. Labor ministers will discuss the CARICOM and ILO partnership and the implementation of the sent work in national and regional policy agenda, as well as the regional tripartite social dialogue mechanism. This is the second time the Bahamas will host the ILO Caribbean Ministers' Labor Meeting. Prime Minister of the Right Honorable Perry Christie and ILO Director General Guy Ryder will address the opening ceremony on Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. Stay tuned to the ZNS Network for full coverage of this regional labor meeting. ZNS News has learned that a Cessna 404 aircraft reportedly experienced landing gear issues sometime around 8:30 this morning. As a result, the aircraft landed on its nose. Sources inform us that the plane, allegedly inbound from Fresh Creek, Andros, had 7 people, the pilot and 6 passengers on board. However, no one was hurt. We also understand that the plane approximately sustained $80,000 in damages. Lyndon Pilling International Airport officials closed the facility for an hour after the incident, and then it reopened. That's all the information we have for you now. This is a developing story. ZNS News will continue to follow. Last week, a woman was arraigned in a magistrate's court for allegedly having improper conversations with a sitting juror. Court dockets allege that the 52-year-old woman of Pinewood Gardens committed the unlawful act on February 17th. She pleaded not guilty to the charge when she appeared before Magistrate Darren Roll Davis. Well, we asked Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, Senator the Honorable Allison Maynard Gibson, how her office handles such cases.
Anybody who is involved in interfering with persons involved in the administration of justice, it is our intention that they be tried within 6 months. This is very important. We have accomplished 9 months so far in relation to one such person who interfered with a policeman, and that has never happened before in our history. And so we believe that with the efficiencies that we're speaking about, the public would like us to send a very clear message that in the Bahamas we will not tolerate persons interfering with anybody involved in the administration of justice. And of course, to answer your question directly, that includes jurors.
Today is the first deadline for businesses to file value-added tax, and officials from the VAT Department and Ministry of Finance are pleased with the remarkable progress of the tax rollout. Due to the impressive compliance efforts of Bahamian businesses, so far the VAT Department does not see a need for an official extension of the deadline for the adoption of inclusive pricing displays, which was yesterday, February 28th. However, enforcement efforts will be heightened to ensure that retailers fulfill all requirements. As a reminder, the VAT Department will issue warnings before any firm is sanctioned with fines. As VAT revenues are realized and the debt burden reduced, the government will retain more financial resources to provide a safer, more prosperous, and modern Bahamas. The December 31st, 2014 deadline has passed for any individual within the country to apply for a firearm license from the Royal Bahamas Police Force for 2015. Authorities have recognized the high number of illegal firearms being used in serious criminal offenses, and they continue to urge gun owners to possess a valid license or face the consequences. Officer in charge of the Firearms Tracing and Investigations Unit, Chief Superintendent Ken Strawn, explains.
A firearm that has not been properly licensed for the period bears the same penalty for someone who's possessing an illegal firearm. So we encourage you to avail yourself of the opportunity. As the dates have already passed, no doubt there will be a penalty for late payment, but we encourage you to come in to the Firearms Licensing Department, wherever they may be based throughout the Bahamas, and tender your application so that your weapon can be properly registered once again within the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
After changing their motto to the responsible way to play, executives of the Assure Win web shop and gaming enterprise launched a national help hotline back in January with the intent to assist Bahamians enduring a gambling addiction. The anonymous gaming hotline, which operates from 9 a.m. to midnight 7 days a week, has an experienced team of professionals waiting to provide quality counseling services to those who need it. Company spokesperson Jerome Sawyer explained that gaming users take full advantage of the helpline as they receive about 10 calls daily.
We're looking at it in its totality to see how we can improve it, how we can offer more services, how we can offer more counseling. And I'm happy to say that we've even engaged at this level the services of some professional counselors at another level. We've always had professionals involved, but we have individuals who are involved at another level now who are looking at the entire program. And so in the coming weeks and months, you will see the helpline advertised a lot more. You will see the services being used hopefully a lot more.
Last week, close to 200 preteen and teenage girls from schools across the Bain and Grantstown constituency received some vital information on the dangers of sexting and how to become responsible cell phone users. Co-chair of the National Child Protection Council, Dr. Novia Carter, was one of the several guest speakers at last week's seminar. Dr. Carter encourages parents to pay closer attention to their children as sex crimes against them are quickly becoming a global phenomenon.
Out of the bedroom, ensure that they put those protective measures on the iPads, on the cell phones, because right now sexual predators have a whole new way of getting to our children.
Cultural icon and veteran Junkanoo leader Percival Francis is excited to be one of those persons on the front line of tourism. We reported yesterday that Francis has been appointed to take Junkanoo to another level for the country's #1 industry. Francis expressed his joy about this new venture with us yesterday while promoting Carnival Bahamas in Exuma.
Yes, I think now we need to begin to think about culture tourism and how we're going to use our gifts and our talents and our creative ability to be able to bring all of the artisans and anything that's related to culture to light. And I think this is a wonderful opportunity for me. I have a wealth of knowledge in this area, and I'm hoping that I could use this position now to bring new blood and to create some new ideas.
St. John's Native Baptist Cathedral is celebrating its 180th anniversary today. The historic church on Meeting Street is considered as a pillar in Bahamian society. Governor General Her Excellency Dame Marguerite Pinling and Minister of National Security, the Honorable Dr. Bernard Nottage, were among those who celebrated this major milestone. 15 church members were also honored during today's service for the contributions made to church and community. In his sermon, the church's General Superintendent, Reverend Dr. Michael Simonet, focused on the need to maintain law and order nationwide.
People don't confront you face on. They shoot, the Bible says they shoot from the shadow. They hide it. They want to see the foundation of law and order destroyed. I could never understand when a government is trying to do its best for law and order, Then you have people who oppose that, trying to pull that government down. Rather than they get on the bandwagon and see what we could do to help the government with law and order, all they're doing is criticizing and making noise.
And still to come, hundreds attend this weekend's Rum Festival, even the Prime Minister. That story and more when the Weekend Edition continues.